We got the heat up here. We got to be careful. When you're dressed like a hippie, the heat doesn't like it. We are stardust. We are gold. We are a fume. We're all carbon. And we've got to get ourselves. Bethel is where we're headed, and we know that there's a monument to the Woodstock Festival, but we also know that there is in fact a lake right there that the hippies were bathing in and making babies in and all the other things they were doing there. And we're going to do some investigation, especially investigation with the fishing poles. Shotgun in the sky, turning into butterflies above our nation.
So after a 3-hour ride, we got to Bethel, where we found a community that was really reveling in the connection. There's a Aquarian festival museum, and when you actually get to the site, there's a monument that makes you feel like you're at a battlefield, like Gettysburg or Saratoga. It's really a kind of an awesome trip. And there's people that are coming there from all over the place, like people come all over the place to see a battlefield. We found the lake right where we expected to find it. It's in the videos. And we made ready to make our attack. Bassy looking, it sure was. But it had been about 95 degrees for 3 days, so we didn't know what to expect.
1969, Woodstock. You can just imagine the hippies in this water. Oh, I wonder if any of the bands took a dip. And I can't remember the name of the lake. What's the name of this lake? I mean, we know it's Rigatoni Lake or something. Filippini Lake. Just, would it be north or south? Just north of the Woodstock Yasgar's farm site. We know there's fish in it. Fishing Historic Places is bringing it to you. You know there's fish in it. Can we make it happen? I'm starting out with the spinnerbait. I don't know what Steve's got on. He's got the guitar, though. We know he's got the guitar. We saw the guitar. Oh, not a bad call. A small one, too. Well, that's the area where the hippies came in, isn't it? Yeah, right up above. You know, the festival goers, if you will. The festival goers. The Aquarius Festival. I wonder if we can see the hill from here. I think the white pines might be blocking it. Yeah, see, there's the festival hill right there where you see that tower. Just to the right of that was where they had the stage, behind the white pines. Amazing. And you can imagine everybody just walking down to the water back then, and it was really hot, and then it was pouring rain, and remember they were doing that mudslide and everything. They had to get down to the water to wash off, I mean, right? Unless they just let the mud cake on them. I mean, you see video of them, if you watch that movie, swimming in this pond. I don't recall seeing any of them with fishing poles, though. You know that they got some leeches. Oh, yeah. There's some 75-year-old former hippie who's talking about the leeches as we speak. I remember the leeches I got during the Woodstock Aquarius Festival.
They were like 15 feet long. I'm not sure they're old because I was on acid. Could have been that big. It might have been just a stick. Maybe a weed.
At the time, it seemed like it was the thing to do.
Stardust, we are golden, we are billion-year-old.
It was a huge year. I mean, just a month before Woodstock, the United States put a man on the moon. Now, the year before Woodstock, that was a tough year. That was the assassination of Bobby Kennedy, I think, right? That was the year that there were, riots in multiple cities, and and the Democratic convention was turmoil. Mayor Daley called out the cops. It was brutal, but at the same time, in San Francisco, you could be going there with flowers in your hair, and here we go. Whoa, this is a hog, whatever this is. He's fighting his little tail off here. Whoa, people, whoa. I don't know what this is. I got my drag set a little tight. This guy's fighting. Holy cow, he hit the cowboy. Nice largemouth here. I hope, wow. Nice largemouth on the cowboy. Circle hook paying off. Oh, you know what he's on? This is the best. This guy is on the fly. He's been tricked by the woolly bugger. Look at that hog. And no, I'd say it's 3.5, 4. But you can see I've got the cowboy here, and then up above it, I've got the fly. This little tiny woolly bugger hanging off the bottom. Tricked this guy. Say hello, big boy. Now get back in the water and make some music. He did a offensive on me. That was like, I was like completely baffled by that hit. I wasn't paying attention. I was jabbering, and so the cowboy was on the bottom, and the little woolly bugger was floating up above it, and that little guy gave it a whack. Nice fish, 3.5, 4 pound, I would say. Well, at least we know they're in here and they're awake. There's perch and largemouths. See, the thing about the Woodstock Festival is it's so hugely attended at a time when, how did the word get out? What was it, a whole bunch of phone calls and some articles in the paper? I mean, that's what baffles me. I mean, we don't get anything that well attended today with the internet, It's kind of baffling. What do you think?
They probably put flyers all over the place.
Yeah, there were probably flyers, colleges, newspapers. Stand man with the crappie on the Johnson silver minnow. I would have put on a Johnson, catch me a crappie. This is a calico bass. See how pretty he is? Oh, he's beautiful. A lot of people like to eat these guys. I like to let them go. Beautiful fish.
I think, it might be some kind of pattern that they might have worn in the 60s.
It definitely has a tie-dye look. He buried the Johnson silver minnow, which I've just decided I'm going to start using more. Beginning of the year, I said, you know something? Johnson silver minnows just work. Why don't I throw them? For fishing weeds, they're one of the better lures to use in the weeds. I got a big one. You want to try a big one? What happens?
You know, they were out deeper, so I thought I'd put this on.
I cast it right in them weeds, and I'm bringing it right across the top of the weeds. Now, the hippies were in those weeds 50 years ago, trying to get clean. I don't know how they did. There's pictures. No, it was a music festival. I mean, they were, you know, most people that went to Woodstock went for the music, you know. There's, of course, a political element to some of them, but most of them just liked the music. Now, some of the music was overtly political.
But you know who wasn't there?
Who wasn't there?
People like Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan didn't go. That's nuts to me.
You know, Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Right. People that you would have thought would have
Mamas and the Papas.
Right, right.
You know,
The real political.
Joan Baez was there.
Joan Baez was there, and Jefferson Airplane was there.
And
So,
Janis Joplin.
yeah. Janice just went where she was told to go. I don't think she knew where she was going at that moment. Can you imagine having gone to Woodstock and blown off Hendrix? They say, as you were telling me earlier, there were only like 30,000 people left when Hendrix played Monday morning, and then they all left once he started because they just wanted to say they saw him, which is wicked funny. You can see on the shore the rhododendrons. Those are rhododendrons. If you were here a month and a half ago, they would have been all purple and red flowers. We don't have rhododendrons in New England. We're in, well, we're probably how far south of where we live, Steve?
Probably down
100 miles south?
maybe Central Connecticut.
Yeah.
Maybe
So the rhododendrons,
south of Hudson.
yeah, so the rhododendron, I mean, we have mountain laurel, but we don't have rhododendrons. So the rhododendron are able to survive here. And like mountain laurel, they have a leaf that's got very little water in it, so that in the winter, they just shrivel up and the cells don't get destroyed. That's why
We're near
they're,
the Pennsylvania-New Jersey border.
that's where we are, right near the Pennsylvania-New Jersey border. Who would have thunk it? I didn't know it was this far south. Well, done with the day. We're not going to stay until dark. But I tell you, I recommend this lake. We didn't crush it, but of course we were in a weather pattern that wasn't favorable. It was heat wave, 97, 98 degrees for 5 days in a row, and it's now in the high 70s. So I kind of feel like the bass are tight to structure down at the bottom. I got a decent bass, but I would imagine there's quite a few good fish in here. And you come out here, you can check out Woodstock and see the museum and all that stuff. We did not go into the museum. We didn't feel the need, but we did check out the monument. And it's kind of weird to think that Woodstock is history. It's over 50 years ago. Well, it's going to be 50, right? This year.
What?
It's going to be, no, it's
53.
53 years.
53 in August.
That's a Woodstock, 53 years ago. That's a long time. It's become a legend.
It's as old as our younger brother.
Imagine that Woodstock has got a museum, right? There's a museum. There's a monument. I mean, would anybody have thunk it at the time?
Must have acres that you can live by. And so here come your son, because the past is slowly going by. And teach the children well, the parents have